Okay, I'm gonna start all over again. Okay, apologies for that. Welcome again, everyone, to your November 23, 2022 New Moon Collective Messages for Spiritual and Personal Development. If this is your first time here, my name is Rochelle. I'm the founder of Brown Bruja. I'm a psychic and spiritual development educator. I'm also a lawyer, but I don't do any law stuff through Brown Bruja ever. But through Brown Bruja, it is my mission to help women and femmes of color become their own psychics and also reclaim their innate connections with the divine. So, moving forward, what I would like to do is I'm going to do my best to put out these new moon and full moon collective messages the Friday before the new and full moon so that you can get all the guidance that you need ahead of time, just in case you want to work with any of the messages that you hear in rituals or reflecting or whatever. And also just because it's like every other week, it's like a good check-in time, right? And okay, I just need to get through all this stuff before we get into the messages. Even though I want you all to be able to connect to the divine on your own and to trust in your abilities, I'm offering these readings because it's not always that easy, right? If you're starting out as a beginner, it's not always advisable to do so, to connect to spirit on your own, especially if you don't know what you're doing. And honestly, even professional psychics like me like to see other psychics consult other spiritual advisors when we're having a tough time. So yeah, I offer these collective readings to anyone who's just starting out, and also for more advanced practitioners who might need some confirmation, validation, clarity, perspective. So if you find yourself under any of those categories, this is a reading for you. And one last thing, I put a disclaimer in the description of each of the collective readings that I do, so please read that now. And while you're gonna read the disclaimer, I'm gonna go ahead and start tuning in and asking for what folks watching this need to know in their personal and spiritual development for November 23, 2022, around the new moon, the November 2022 new moon. Okay. Okay. Alright, cool. So, let me put my keyboard to the side so I have more space here. Alright. Alright, so what I've been doing the past couple of readings, for the past couple of live streams is let me just turn off my fan. That's a little too strong. Okay. What I've been doing for the past couple of live streams is I tune in and ask for 3 separate messages from spirit, but I don't know. I'm kind of feeling just going in with the tarot right now. Before I got on, I was feeling a little bit of worry, panic, anxiousness. So I don't know what's going on here, but yeah, so I kind of just want to dive in with the cards directly. So let's see what comes up. Okay. Spiritual and personal development. Why don't you give us 3 messages of spiritual? Okay. Okay. So I'm asking for 3 separate messages. Okay. Oh, interesting. So So for the people who care, these are the piles that I got. The first pair of cards is the Knight of Pentacles and the Page of Pentacles. The second one, lots of pentacles here. The second one is Knight of Pentacles and Nine of Swords. And the last one is Strength and the Three of Wands. You know, it's really interesting because, well, first of all, looking at, even though I asked for 3 separate messages for you all, when I look at the cards all together, except for the Nine of Swords, which I think is representative of the worry, panic, anxiousness that I was describing literally just like 1 minute ago. Everything else is yellow. Everything else is really bright. So I think on the collective level, maybe it's because the roller coaster of eclipse season is now over and things are feeling a little bit more settled now. I'm not sure, but things just feel a lot lighter. A lot lighter, a lot brighter. And at the same time, the sensation that I'm experiencing right now also reminds me of when my spirit guide visits me. One of my spirit guide visits me sometimes, and she kind of like, when she comes around, her energy frequency is so high that I feel sometimes like I can't breathe. Like it does feel like almost like I'm about to have a panic attack, but like there's no reason for it, if that makes sense. So there's a lot going on here. There's a lot of excitement, a lot of worry in general, but I feel like at the same time, this excitement is coming from kind of like a shift in perspective where folks are feeling more, are tuning in more, and so they're able to see the negative, or I don't want to say the negative, the difficult stuff more objectively, and then also bring in the perspective of like the ease, the gratitude, the blessings that are already in existence. So I kind of feel like in general people are kind of like holding both, either, I don't know, there's like a difference in the way that the people are holding these two things, the ease and the difficulty. And I think that's what's being portrayed in each of these different piles. So let me actually get into it. Let me actually stop talking so that I can, tune in, listen instead of just talking. Okay. Oh, interesting. Ooh, okay. So with this first pile, what is coming up is issues around, okay, when it comes to, how do I want to start off by saying this? What I'm seeing is people being presented with opportunities for growth and stability. And I don't know, I think that there are people out there who are kind of wondering if it's like too good to be true, or like no, I think that's the next pile. So let me not go there. Let me focus on the first pile. So with the first pile, with the Page and the Knight, it's like you feel like you're starting from a seed. You're starting from like the very beginning. It's something that feels very right, very aligned, but it's almost like I gotta wait for this seed to grow. It's gonna take so long. It's literally a seed, and like but at the same time, I feel like this is a seed that will bring you fulfillment, will bring you satisfaction, is in total alignment with your goals, your soul purpose. It just feels right. It feels right. It feels like it's gonna be worth the wait, but at the same time, I don't know, whoever this pile pertains to, or these group of cards pertains to, I feel like there's a little bit of frustration in like how long, or in like how things are progressing, because you feel like you started too late. So I mean, I get that. On one hand, I totally get that. It's like the pentacles. This is the suit of the pentacles traditionally is associated with the element of earth. So it's like, it's moving really slowly. Like, so I get it, but at the same time, it's almost it still feels so blessed and so positive with all this yellow. It's like, oh my gosh, I can't believe that I finally found this out. Like, it kind of reminds me about how when I first got diagnosed, and I just saw 51515 on the clock, but it reminds me of when I was finally diagnosed with depression. And it was like, oh my gosh, I finally have an explanation for like how I've been feeling, how I've been experiencing life. And like, now that I have this, I can like finally, start to treat it or start to like get better. And like, that's not what I feel. The seed that is being planted within you is not something like a mental health diagnosis, but I'm just trying to like give like a similar analogy. Or maybe like even me like realizing like, holy shit, like I'm like here to help people through their psychic development. Why did I only discover that like after I went through all this schooling? Like, couldn't I have just saved like all of that money, tens of thousands of dollars in student loans that who knows if they'll ever get paid off, Yeah, so maybe that's a better analogy. But it feels very aligned, and I think like I understand why you feel like, oh my gosh, why did it take me so long to like get to this point? Why did this discovery, this revelation, like why did it have to come so late in my life? But I don't, it's not that I see it marching towards you from like ever since you were born. I don't really know how else to explain it. I think it just had to be on that pace. Let me get some other cards here. Let's see. Let's go for Archangel Oracle cards. Okay. What else do people need to know about this? Because why is it so dang slow? Or it's like maybe you like all of a sudden you're like, oh my gosh, I love weightlifting. And you're like, why didn't I ever find this before? Or like, oh, bless you, honey, bless you. Bobby sneezing. Okay, let's see. What else do they need to know here? Okay. Wow, interesting. So you have overcoming difficulties and moon cycles. So what I'm getting with this is, with the overcoming difficulties card, there was something that you had to heal before this blessing could have even come into your life, because if it had come in before, you wouldn't have had the capacity, you wouldn't have appreciated it as much, something like that. So this like message about the divine timing is what's coming through with this overcoming difficulties card. And I feel like, yeah, you did that. Whatever this is, like, you did that. Like, it wasn't easy. And, maybe it did take a very long time for you to heal whatever they're alluding to here. I think part of this, like, there's like something here that's talking about like believing in yourself. It's almost like you had to go through some fucked up shit and like emerge victorious and like prove to yourself, oh my gosh, I fucking survived and I'm strong and like I can like do a lot more. I'm a lot more capable of like things than I thought previously, previous to overcoming these difficulties. And so now they're like, we're bringing you these little seeds. And you're like, like, why only now? It's like, hello, you were doing a lot of things here. And with this moon cycles card, like this is when this card comes up for me, a lot of times it signifies divine timing. It's talking about, like, everything happens in the time that it needs to happen. So as much as you can, I know it's really hard to be like, be patient. Like, it's not that easy. Yeah, you'll be coming. Oh, do you hear that? So you better listen to this. Sorry, my Tamagotchi just pooped. I need to clean his bathroom. So that's another confirmation from you, or for you. Yeah, this is, it's worth the wait. The timing is divine, and this seed, whatever it is, it's gonna blossom in divine timing. And this is something I feel like will, with the Knight of Pentacles, it's not going away. This is like, I don't know. I feel like it could almost like become a part of you. It's that it feels life-changing. Oh, is what I want to say. Yeah. So cool. Since now we're focusing, or since moving forward, I want to focus on giving you actionable steps when it comes to your personal and spiritual development. I'm going to try and pull some cards and see what your next steps are going to be before the next new moon. Yeah, so let's see. Ooh, okay. Interesting. Oh, really interesting. Okay, so we have the Devil and we have the Ace of Pentacles. Another dang pentacle, people. So what really drew my eye with these cards, with the Devil card, is that, like, so the Devil card in the Rider-Waite-Smith tarot system, and in other systems as well, the Devil is the astrological association of the Devil is Capricorn, which, as we know, or as a lot of people know, is an earth element. It's a cardinal earth element in astrology, right? So the fact that the kind of like the ruling card is kind of what's coming up. The ruling card of this suit is coming up for you, like that fact, plus the Ace of Pentacles here, the number 1. I feel like they just want you to approach whatever this thing is, whatever's being signified, this little seed. They want you to approach this with discipline. Because the seed, like, not like I know that much about growing plants or anything like that, but they're like, they want you to kind of treat it like a baby. Even though this thing, this idea, this, I don't know what it is, that has potential for longevity and for, positive, easy life change, it's still like a baby. So you have to treat it, how you treat it now, how you act now in these beginning stages, your attitude towards it, etc., is very important in how it will grow. Kind of like with Tamagotchi, if you neglect it, you'll get like weird Tamagotchis, and we don't want you to have the weird Tamagotchis. We want you to have the cute one, not the one that I got like a bad one. I'm not gonna show you because nobody cares, but anyway, yeah. So moving forward, like, it doesn't mean that you have to like obsess over it, or like you can like fuck it up or anything like that. I feel that you have the capacity and the knowledge and the expertise, or whatever you need in order to nurture this seed, to allow it to grow. Like, you're able to do it, but like, just don't ignore it or neglect it. Or even with the Devil card, like obsessing over it, or like getting too controlling over it in some situations. I don't know if this seed Page and Knight of Pentacles is like representing like a new person in your life, like a bestie, or like a colleague, or a career, or a romantic relationship. Oh, someone said, I care about your Tamagotchi, thanks. I don't. That's why I get the bad ones, but it's okay. Yeah, so whatever it is, they don't want you to like try to control things too much. You see these chains here, or like put in too much work. There's like, the Capricorn stereotype of like letting ambition take over to the point where you just like throw your whole self into work or whatever it is, and then you like burn out and there's like no balance there, right? So yeah, there's that aspect of it, but also, it's like a new beginning and it's really exciting and cool to have. Hello, focus. Yeah. So, that's like there's still something, even though you're like, oh my god, it's taking so long to grow, there's still something really special about this period of time. It's like you're at the beginning of a new adventure, beginning of a new journey. So there's like there's medicine in that aspect of it too, if that makes sense. Okay, I hope that made sense. Please let me know if it did. And yeah, all right, so let's move on to the next pile. Okay, so we have King of Pentacles and the Nine of Swords. So like I said, this is, and if you find that what you're experiencing in this moment is you're finding resonates across multiple piles, that could be it too. I'm just gonna channel how they want me to channel, and you take what resonates and leave what doesn't. Okay, so back to these cards. The Nine of Swords and the King of Pentacles. This is a group of folks who just like, I feel like aren't used to having stability. And with the theme of the Pentacles, what's coming up for me is like having like money, like money in the bank. Maybe you're living paycheck to paycheck or less than paycheck to paycheck, or even like having a secure romantic partner or group of friends or family or housing, like stability in like your basic human needs is kind of what it feels like. And with this what I'm feeling is that an aspect of that is coming in now, and it's really hard for these people to like relax, to adapt, to enjoy the stability that's coming through, because they've never experienced this before, and they're like I don't deserve this, or like get it away from me, or like someone's trying to give it to you and you're like, no, thank you, I won't have $10,000 or $1 million or something. And it's like, wow, like what? Why are you doing that? And maybe part of the like Nine of Swords vibe that's coming through is you being like, why the fuck did I turn it down? Why the fuck am I self-sabotaging is exactly what it is. Okay, Leslie says, yes, I'm just now learning what stability feels like. Yeah, and it can be really uncomfortable because it's like, you're like, I've never had this before. It's like, I mean, it's not even like Cinderella, because I don't really feel like they explored how she felt when she was like with the prince or whatever. But anyway, maybe you feel like Cinderella and you're like, I don't fucking belong in this castle. Why is this prince coming? Prince Charming. Like, why does he like me? Like, yeah, there's like an aspect of that when it comes to a theme in your life, of like basic necessities that, I don't know, but you deserve it. You deserve whatever it is coming through. Sorry about the weird Cinderella thing. I'm just letting my brain and my heart like lead me where they want me to go. So yeah, the good thing though is, I mean, yeah, there's no Prince Charming. There's no, yeah, that's a fairy tale. Anyway, so okay, and now that's bringing me to the Cheetah Girls song, where they're like, don't want to depend on no one else. I'd rather rescue myself. I won't sing it because I don't want to get copyright strike. Just kidding. Because I don't want to sing it. We can sing it at karaoke another day. But yeah. I think part of that is coming up too, where it's like a little bit like of a defensive mechanism where you feel like if you accept this stability coming from whoever else or whatever else, institution, friends, family, loved one, new person, whatever, like you're like, whoa, I'm like surrendering part of my autonomy, or it's like I'm not as strong of a person because now like I'm getting my basic needs met through somebody that is not me or an organization that is not me, and therefore it's bad. I feel like I address this population every time I give one of these readings of, parentified children, blah, 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 like eldest daughters, there's like an element here of like, yeah, it's you being able to accept this help that is coming your way is like getting blocked by like childhood patterns, childhood trauma, if you did experience trauma. So I understand, again, like nobody is faulting you for what you're experiencing right now, but part of your challenge, part of your homework during this time in your spiritual and personal development, because it is intertwined, is for you to, oh my gosh, okay, it's for you to like work through what is blocking you from accepting this help, or bringing where the judgment is coming up around you accepting this help and allowing other people to help you. And it's not just on the material plane. This is also true in terms of your relationship with spirit, the divine, creator, God, however you refer to your higher power. It's the same fucking thing. And it's like also part of the reason why you have difficulty aligning your desires with your manifestations or something like they're saying like this is like, sometimes you pray for things, you like do spells and stuff to like bring stuff in. Maybe it doesn't come in exactly how you want it to, or not as big as you want it to, or like it doesn't come in at all. Part of the reason is because you're trying to do too much work on your side and you're not allowing your higher power to come in and like help you to bring your blessings to you in like a better way. Yeah, so there's kind of like two levels here of what's going on. Let me see if there's anything else that needs to come through. Wow, that's very interesting. I know a lot of you are feeling like this like Nine of Swords person, like, OMG, why can't I just be normal? Why can't I just say yes? Why can't I just like accept this like beautiful King of Pentacles energy that's like coming into my life? But guess what? Because it's King of Pentacles, remember we're talking about Pentacles moving slow. This King of Pentacles, like, the blessings are coming in this King of Pentacles energy, this slow moving energy, to afford you time to work through these judgments, these blockages that you have around accepting help, accepting the stability. So, like, if you feel pressure, like a time pressure, I would, and it's not like actually like, if you don't accept this $1 million by tomorrow, you don't get $1 million. Like, if it's not an actual material time pressure, I would invite you to give yourself permission to just like sit with it, like be a little bit more, like separate yourself from the emotions that you're experiencing and be like, okay, this is why I'm feeling this is where it comes from. How can I move forward? How can I like get better at accepting help and like holding on to the stability that I've prayed for, that I've always wanted, now that it's here. If that makes sense. Okay. So, let's see. What else? Coming up here. Okay. Oh, yeah. Oh, interesting. So you got clairsentience and clairvoyance. Very interesting. Sorry, I'm trying to like hold it straight. Clairsentience and clairvoyance. You got 2 clair cards. Okay, so that means that your homework is to talk with your guides more, talk with your higher power more. Doesn't have to be verbal communication, but communicate with them, and ask them to help you be more open to help. I know this might sound kind of weird to people, but if you're working on this in therapy, or you're working on this in other ways, and you feel like, oh my gosh, like, how else am I supposed to improve? Like, that is the exact point where we are meant to turn to our higher powers for assistance. So you're at that point now with these 2 Claire cards. It's very obvious to me that this is what you are meant to do, and they're meant to help you. Yeah, I don't think so. When it comes to your homework over the next month, it's not gonna come easy to you right away. So it might for some people, but this is a general reading. But for the majority, I feel like if you feel like you're not really receiving anything, even like within the first week that you're doing this, I would really encourage you not to give up, to just keep going, to get into the habit of it, the practice of it, because there's like a lot of times where we actually do have to ask, either ask multiple times, or after we put out the communication, we're just meant to wait for whatever reason, for divine timing, for our brains to like calm down so that we can actually be clear enough to receive the messages. There's a lot of different reasons. So, that's your homework, pile number 2. Good luck. I think you can do it. It's really hard, but because this challenge is being presented to you, I feel like it is something that you can overcome. Ice cream man's here. Perfect timing. I'm so sorry, pile number 3. Should I take a break? What should I do? Should I keep going? Is the ice cream man bothering you? This like literally would happen like every time I did like a weeknight class, practical woo class. So I don't know. Should I take a break? I'm gonna just keep going. I'm just gonna keep going, and it'll be in the background. I'm so sorry. Usually the ice cream man doesn't come until later, so yeah, it's kind of a surprise. And if you can't hear it, then that's good too. That's perfect. Okay, so I'm gonna put on my noise cancellation. Okay, P. Morrow says, haha, I'm good with either. Alright. It's kind of funny. Okay. Alright, so we have... Okay, either is cool. I'm gonna keep going. Okay. So we have the 3 of Wands and Strength for pile number 3. I really like this. And it's really interesting that this is a pile that we're ending with, because I feel like this pile is the most self-assured, most confident. But this pile, the people in this pile also, this message is for you. If you like, kind of like what I was describing with pile number 1, you had to overcome something where you had to, Leslie says maybe pile three's homework is to eat more ice cream. Maybe. And maybe I'll just make myself part of pile number 3 and eat some ice cream too. No, that is actually a very... Thank you, Leslie, for bringing that up, because I think that pile number 3 has a lot to celebrate. Not that pile number 1 and 2 don't, but when it comes to pile number 3, it feels like the end of a cycle. They're like, they've kind of like closed out this cycle, and now they're kind of like moving on to the next thing. There's something here about like I was saying with pile number 1, where there's like overcoming a difficult cycle, a difficult situation, where you had to prove yourself, where you did something where you proved your strength to yourself, and now it's like so undeniable, and you're kind of like breaking free, and now you're setting your sights on a new horizon. You're setting it, and you know, it could be career, it could be like breaking cycles of codependency, of like toxic relationship. Yeah, it feels like toxic relationship overall. It could be career, it could be personal. I'm not sure, but it's like, wow, it's like you like there was a spell on you and it shattered, and you proved your worth to yourself. Like, wow, I was able to conquer that, and now like I'm moving on to the next thing. I'm moving on to like the next horizon. Or even like what it kind of reminds me of is like you're playing a video game, you like beat that level, now you're like moving on to the next level, and now you're like at the loading screen, and you're like, oh my gosh, I wonder what the new map is gonna look like, kind of a thing for my video game people. It's really beautiful. And like if you look at this person's clothes, it's like kind of like mismatched, like a patchwork of stuff, and I feel like what that's kind of signifying is like, you know, maybe you're not looking the best or feeling the best right now. You just overcame something very difficult, breaking that spell or whatever it was, and so even though you don't feel like a hero, or you don't feel like a really strong person, or you look in the mirror and you're like, I look like the same piece of shit that I was 3 months ago or whatever. That is not what the emphasis is here. It's not about what is going on for you externally. It's all about the healing and the transformation that has happened from within. Although, you know, your battle scars, so to speak, that's like what is like, that is the tangible evidence that you have of like what you experienced. So like, for example, like me and like all the white hairs I grew, well, you can't see them now because I pulled out a lot of them, which is not supposed to do, but I did it anyways. Anyway, through my year of being full-time in Brown Bruja, I've grown so many fucking white hairs. I've had white hair since like I was a little kid. I think I just like stressed out all the time, but yeah, I grew way more in this year of like doing this full-time, because there was like so much that I worried about. I've had other like physical changes. I have like back pain. My knees hurt now, and it's like I'm 32. My knee is like, is this the age of my knees hurting? I don't think it's supposed to be. So anyway, you know, these things that I have are these like exterior or physical ailments that I'm experiencing. Well, white hair is not an ailment, but you know what I mean. Like all this stuff, it's evidence of like what I experienced, what I was put through, and also of like my resiliency, right? Because like even though like I have these pains on the white hair or whatever, like I'm still alive. But I've gotten to a point where like I'm able to manage my stress now, and actually some of my white hairs are starting to turn back to black. So yeah, anyway, side note, but like you really are strong. And with the strength card, I feel like this thing that you overcame is really like lighting the fire within you, your Leo fire, not necessarily Leo, but like the fire within your heart. So astrologically, Leo is associated with the heart, this area. And so when I see this card, this combination for this message, it just shows me like how brightly that fire in your heart, that passion, that desire for you to like move on with your life, to move on to the next level, it's burning so strongly that, you know, I don't really know what's gonna happen in your future, but it looks really promising. Again, with like all the yellow, it's very hopeful. I'm feeling, as I'm looking at these cards, I'm feeling very exhausted. So I feel like this is like a mental and emotional battle. It's kind of what it feels like. Yeah, mental and an emotional battle that you've waged. So I don't know. Good job. You earned it. Celebrate. Get that ice cream from the ice cream man. Get your SpongeBob paleta. Get your strawberry shortcake. Can't get your taco because they don't make those anymore. But anyway. All right. So let's see what your homework is. What is Pile 3's homework? Leslie says the 3 piles kind of told a story of overcoming battles and celebration at the end. Yes, exactly. Yeah, and so I think that's also why many people will find that they will resonate with multiple messages across the piles. Yeah, I don't know. I haven't actually done like a pick a pile reading in a while. But it felt good to do that today. So maybe we'll do it again in the next couple of weeks. We'll see where spirit leads me. But all right. So back to pile 3. Pile 3's homework. Rest. Yeah, I mean, you don't really have to be on the defensive as much anymore, or like right now. Yeah. Oh my god. The cards that came out, dude. You got you are safe and chakra clearing. See? See, I am psychic, you guys. My eyes were closed, I promise. Yeah, so it's time to rest. It's time for you to rest. It's time for you to recover. I feel like lots of people in pile 3 could benefit from energetic healing, from massage, from like going to the beach, swimming in the ocean, or like, you know, maybe like letting a child bury you in the sand or something like that. It's kind of like earth healing, a retreat away from the city, into nature, into like a place that's like more quiet. Yeah, some rejuvenation, maybe like a spa day. But you don't even really need to like spend money, you know, just like a moment away from whatever challenge you just conquered. Yeah. Cause you're entering a new level. You're leveling up. So, the cycle's starting all over again. But you can rest in between the cycles, right? Let's see here. Yeah, spa day does sound really nice. Let's see. Actually, here's what I'm gonna do. I am going to pull an affirmation card for each of the piles. All right. Yes, let's all take a break from society. Okay. please give me affirmation cards for each of the piles. Okay, 1, 2, 3. Okay, pile number 1, your affirmation is, any setback propels me forward. Any setback propels me forward. Which is kind of funny, right? Because pile number 1 is like, things are moving so slow. But this is like slingshotting you into the future. So that's kind of funny. I mean, I feel like that's like spirit being a little bit rude and like teasing. But at the same time, it's almost like you think things are going slow, but this is actually the fastest that it can go. And as long as you continue to trust us, as long as you continue to water and nurture that seed, things will continue to propel you forward. Yeah. Which is like just a fancy way of telling you to be patient, which is really rude again. So I'm very sorry for that. But pile number 1, your affirmation again is, any setback propels me forward. All right. Okay, pile number 2. Your affirmation, is, I trust my journey. I trust my journey. And I feel like this is for the people out there who are feeling a lot of like guilt and judgment towards themselves around not being able to accept the stability, to accept the blessings, like, or not that they're not able to, but you're really struggling with it. But like, you're like over here. Well, you started here. You're like over here, you know? And like a year ago, you were like here. You know what I mean? So give yourself a little bit more credit. Okay? Like, yeah. So I'll read. I don't always read what the cards say, but I feel compelled to read it now. It says, move forward in life with the certainty that you are on a journey that is headed in a positive direction. When you hold steadily to your vision, understand that reaching the final destination will be worth it. The roadmap of life is ever changing and leading you towards your destiny. Okay, pile number 2. Trust your journey. Okay. Ooh. All right. And last but not least, pile number 3. Ooh. I am surrounded by positive energy. Wow, double rainbow. Okay. I feel like this is your reward. What it's bringing to mind is like, you know, the story of Noah's Ark, where God basically killed everyone in the world except for the people on the ark and the animals on the ark. And like, at least in the version that I read in church, it's like God sent the dove with the olive branch to Noah to like be like, okay, won't do that anymore, I promise. And then there was also a rainbow, right? A rainbow to signify God's promise that everything's going to be okay. So, you know, whether or not pile 3, the challenge that you just overcame was, you know, world flood proportions or not, what your higher power is coming through to let you know is that you did a really good job and you broke the spell. I don't feel like you're gonna encounter problems with this like toxic relationship stuff to the same degree as you just did, because when it comes up again, it'll be so much easier for you to like squash it. Yeah, that's kind of what I feel. It's like your higher power's promise to you, the Creator's promise to you. And it's a double rainbow. It's not just a single rainbow. I think in the Bible it was only a single rainbow, and this is a double rainbow, so it's better. Okay, anyway, oh my gosh, I can't believe I've been talking for like an hour. That totally flew by. Well, thank you all for joining me live. If you join me live, I always love having you all give your side comments in the chat. It makes me feel I'm not alone. You all give me energy too. If this reading resonated with you at all, please give it a thumbs up. That helps the algorithm bring me back to you. If you want to keep a record of which pause resonated with you, you can go ahead and comment it. Put in the comments which pause resonated with you and why. And when you're done with your homework and you come back next new moon, you can always revisit and be like, oh yeah, I was pile 1 and 2 or 1, 2, and 3 or just 3, and did I do what I was supposed to do? Yes, I did. No, I didn't. I can do better, whatever, blah, blah, blah. You can use the comments to keep track of that. Lastly, make sure you subscribe. If you follow me on social media, I'll give alerts of when I do the live streams. But if you're subscribed, you can actually, click the little notification bell to be reminded exactly when I go live, and you'll also know when I actually schedule the lives too. So you can clear your schedule, make sure you have enough snacks in your notepad or whatever to get ready to receive the messages. And yeah, if you want to learn more about psychic and spiritual development, you can follow me on Instagram. You can check out the other videos on this channel, and you can also book a one-on-one session with me. The information for all of that will be in the description. And yeah, good luck. Happy new moon, everyone. And